Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Jo from Plan to Create. This video is a little bit different. I have an unboxing of the Hobonichi Day Free books that are new that were released on the 1st of November, and I've got the A5 and the A6 to show you. Also, I have a new setup for my Hobonichi Weeks for 2020, which I will go through and show you. Okay, so we've got, I'll just get these out of the packet. All right, so we have the A5 and the A6. They both came with the little pamphlet cartoon story written in Japanese. I have no idea, but the pictures are cute, so I will hang on to those. Also got the 2020 pen, uni pen with black, blue and red 0.5 inks, and these cards. If somebody could elaborate and let me know what these are for. I'm a little disappointed because these actually weigh quite a bit, and I got 2 packets, which made the postage quite expensive because of the weight. But they're little cards and they've got little pictures and words on them, but I don't know what they're for. I don't know if it's a game. I've got no idea. So if you know and you could let me know, that would be fantastic. Okay, let's get into the Day Free. Okay, so this is the A5 and it has just the cardboard cover, and it's quite thick. I've got here the blank notebooks that they had, so it's pretty much the same. I actually cut this one down to B6, so that should be an A5, that one. Okay, so what we have in here is our 2019, 20 and 21 calendars. We have our months, so that you can use for trackers or whatever else you decide to use those for. Then it goes straight into the monthlies, and it starts in December, so this can be used in a couple of weeks, and this goes through until March 2020. And then from then on, each page is just the free portion, which is just blank gridded pages. They do have quotes down the bottom in Japanese, and then they have these, let's see if I can, these little pictures, and I think if you flick through the pages, you sort of get a little bit of a bit of a story going. So yeah, that's one little thing that I wasn't aware of. So, and then at the back, I'm not sure if there is anything. We've got a timetable, some graph paper, favorites, which can be movies, books, music, food, etc. My 100. I don't know what these pages are. They look good though. And I don't know what this one is either. I think it's your ages or something like that. I'm not sure. And addresses at the back and your personal details. So it's a very simple book. It is very thin in comparison to the normal techos, obviously, because it doesn't have the weeks involved. But the day pages are date free. So if you're not you don't use one day, it's not going to matter, but you still have your monthly calendar portion. So the A6, I'm going to presume, is exactly the same. I thought the paper looked a bit brighter on this one. Maybe it's my eyes. You've got the same thing. You've got your monthly calendar, It's exactly the same, and you've got the same little animated, let's see if we can do it the right way. Little pictures. So there we go. So those are the day frees that can be used from December 2019. So we'll pop those aside. I'm still figuring out what I'll be using these for, but I will let you know. And this is my new setup for 2020. So I have a Giglio Campagna Slim. So it has 14mm rings. And I've sort of started to set it up a little bit. I've got a little die cut here made by Alyssa, one from my shop. A little fries before guys that I've made. Just a little die cut of my name that I made. I made this one as well. And here we have my 2020 Hobonichi. I cut down my nuance, and I'll show you the cover. And here we are, all empty. I had a regular and I've got a Weeks as well in sneaker, but I decided to cut this one down because I wasn't happy. Now it lays flat because there's nothing in it, but I wasn't happy when the book was in it, how the spine was. So I thought I'll cut this one up. And I did trim a tiny bit off the bottom, and I did that by hand, which was probably silly, but I'd already taken it and had it professionally cut, had the binding cut off, so I was too impatient, so I've just done it myself. So what I've done is just popped a couple of little post-it notes up the top for the monthly pages and the weekly pages. Now, this starts next week, so next week's Plan With Me will be in here. But what I've done is the front sort of card pages that were inside here. I'd already washi taped this one, but what I've done is I've put them in to use as pencil boards. And I've got it on both sides. So there's the last page with its number on it. So I sort of had ready inbuilt pencil boards. So that's what I'm using those for. And then I've got the notes pages that were in this one. And then I also pulled out a couple of the sections from the back in my current one because I hadn't used all the notes. So I just worked out the little sleeves and pulled those out and punched them to put them in here. So they're not going to be in, because the pages are numbered, they're not going to be obviously in order. Where do we start? There we go. So we've got those note pages, and there is, how many do we have? 50, 69. And I've kept the little bits and pieces in it for now, some of them. And then I've got an extra few at the back if I need. Then I made just a little, I bought some Tomoe River dot grid paper, which unfortunately it's only got the dot grid. It's going to be very hard to see in this light. Let's turn it right down for a second. You can sort of faintly see the dots there, but they're not on the back. So, but that's okay. I don't mind too much. And so this will be if I need to have dailies or notes or anything like that. So I just got a bit of black cardstock and I measured it to fit inside this back pocket because I did have a excuse me, a book already made which is designed to fit inside one of these covers, but they're actually taller. So I just measured it up and made a little notebook to go in there. Then I have Monster X stickers that I got from Redbubble, a die cut that I made, and I just stuck some of that holographic sticker paper over the top. So yeah, so that is what I will be using. Probably more memory keeping this time in this one, so I can put stickers in it and tip-ins and, you know, acetate sheets, vellum sheets, and if it gets too chunky I can take some pages out and not have to worry about how big and messy it gets, because it doesn't matter. So you do lose a little bit of space when you punch the holes, but that doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, then it's probably not something that you should consider. I've started to fill out a couple of little bits and pieces, and see, even Christmas Day I still managed to fit a sticker and some writing in, so you can get by with the space that you've got. Okay, so, and in this slim we have 3 card slots and an extra pocket here. And on the back there is another 3 card slots and the secretarial pocket, and one here as well, and of course the famous big back pocket. I think this size is really cute. Now I did measure everything to fit excuse me, but I might still have to chop a couple of millimeters off some pieces on the bottom because it's just sticking out a little bit, but it's on the bottom, so I don't think it's going to bother me that much. And I'm really looking forward to how this patina's smells delicious. These are gorgeous planters, Julio. I absolutely love them. So this is the start of my setup for next year, but again, I'm starting next week, so we'll get to have another look at that when I do my plan with me next week in this one. So it was just a quick look at the Hobonichi Day Freeze and my new setup for my weeks for next year. So thank you very much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Love it if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.